YouTube, what goes on? And welcome back to Disavowed Action Figures, bringing you another episode in the entire saga of me moving into our new home with my girlfriend. It's been several episodes. I'm not sure how many installments I've done, probably 6 or 7 by now. But if you're new to the channel, thanks for clicking on this. Thank you for checking out my channel. Usually it's like toy hunts, toy reviews, live streams, pop culture sort of stuff. But in this series of videos, I'm chronicling us moving into our new home, which involved us packing from the very beginning of the process, me moving my entire action figure collection and toy collection and just collection of nonsense here. And then we had a snag. We got in, we got situated, and unfortunately this machine crushed a septic pipe coming out of our home, which if you saw that video, there was a huge, not huge, there was a relatively menacing flood in our utility room where all of our collectibles were stored. It was done because we were building this deck, and the deck is finished, thankfully. The deck is done. But you can see all the dirt because there was a huge, huge gaping hole right here that had a broken septic pipe in it, which didn't allow us to flush our toilets to reach our septic tanks. I'm a first-time homeowner. I don't know anything about this stuff. If you know this already, I'm sorry for the review, but some people might be new. But yeah, I'm going to show you them filling the hole in where we finally got to finish having the deck be made, and now we finally have some semblance of regular life. So if you're new, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It's free for you. It does not cost you anything. It helps us grow the channel tremendously in March too. 8,000 subscribers. While you're at it, click that bell for notifications. That way YouTube should notify and tell you when we post new content through the channel, like our weekly toy and reviews, live streams. Leave a comment down below, hit that like button. And for daily toy content and daily toy updates, try checking us over at Instagram at disavowed_12. Here they are filling in the hole, then all sorts of action figure nonsense. Let's have some fun. They're finally filling in the hole because the plumber just ran the camera through. I'll try to put a little clip in here of that as well. And cleared all the work. So yeah, now I guess we can poop in our own home, I think. We'll find out, right? And again, deck guys were cool. The contractors took care of it and paid everything. But say goodbye to the hole, because next video you see, the hole's gone. And there, a deck update. I haven't even talked about the deck at all. So they couldn't even work on the left side of the deck or right side, depending where you're standing. So this is that side of the deck that they've been working on. And now they'll be able to work on this side of the deck without hopefully hitting the pipe again. Because if that happens, I will begin to question my sanity, even though I already kind of have questioned my sanity after this process. Goodbye, septic pipe. Hello, dirt. And now I'm gonna have to plant grass too, I suppose, right? Since all that grass got ripped up. Although some of it's gonna be underneath the deck, so I guess the good thing about that is I think we're gonna be putting a patio in down anyway, so we put a concrete slab. Can you tell by the inflection of my voice? I'm not on a toy hunt. little different voice when I'm dealing with this, right? All right, last push here, and we'll cut the camera off. And there it goes. All right, so a couple updates back here in the toy room before we put that shelf together, which is going to go right here, the new Walmart shelf. So I forgot I had Nimrod. Again, found him on a random shelf back here. Everything's mixed together. So I moved Nimrod up there, which meant the Sentinels got displaced. So probably going across the second one we're going to put here, the second shelf, the Sentinels will be up there, like right, almost like, again, they're going to be connected basically. So I'll put them like right next to the other Sentinels right there. Also, I added the brown suit Wolverine in the back because I took out the Tiger Stripe Wolverine and added him to the Avengers shelf. I think I showed that last video. And I moved somebody else. Who was it? I can't remember. I moved something else or added somebody else in. I can't remember anymore what I did. But something else happened. And then over here, I'm going to show you my display. So this is where I do reviews and things like that. So none of my lights are on, so it's kind of dark. But yeah, I kind of brought some old favorites back. I got Elvira back there. I got the fan from Retro and Rad, which, by the way, I'll be doing a full store tour of Retro and Rad's grand reopening coming up this weekend. I'll get that video out sometime next week. Added some G.I. Joes in that weren't there before. Got the Good Boy in there. Kept the toilet. Added the arcade machines. Updated the sign. Took off the live 705s. I haven't done that in a long time. Even got my McDonald's trays incorporated, so they'll stay there for the long term. So I'm getting used out of that Happy Meal I bought. Of course, DP, Orange Cassidy, Nick Fury, my trio. Added Muttley back in, still have Major Blood, toilet, the little hydrant from the old TMNT Delio, and then I have Bruno, my little Bruno toy. That's right. We bought this, it was 3D printed at a festival or something. So I got Bruni, and Bruni loves French fries. So yeah, this is the new work area I'll be using. Oh yeah, and I added Spider-Man too, as well. I took down Human Torch. So yeah, thought I'd show you that. You'll see this in some upcoming videos pretty soon, hopefully. All right, let's do some work today. It's about time to put this darn shelf together. So I bought this a couple days ago. We're gonna put it together. I think it's the exact same one I already have. If it's not, it's gonna look a little bit goofy, but they're the exact same dimensions, I'm pretty sure, from what I saw. So we're gonna crack this open, we'll put it together. I'm not gonna show you every step, but I'll show you some. And I'll show you, more importantly, this in the new toy room, and then me shifting over some figures to this and kind of the movement of the collection, because, well, it's a toy channel, right? That's what you wanna see. Well, I think you want to see. It's what I want to do. All right, so all unpacked. So there is all the wood right there, set aside. I've put away all the crap already back into the box, the junk, the garbage. And then all my screws, nails, dowels, all that good stuff for tightening to actually hold it together. And then these are the back pieces and the bottom piece. So kind of have those off to the side. Injecting whatever polka music into this, because Sundays are for polka. So I have the main frame put together. Now I'm at the please hammer don't hurt me section. I got to hammer in all 42 nails with putting the back on here. So let's do that now. All right, so I got them laid on top just to make sure that it's fitted properly. Set this over a little bit here, and then we'll start hammering these in once they're all even. All right, so the entire back is pretty much nailed in. Took me a little over an hour. I'm not very handy with things, so I expected to maybe take longer, but yeah, I put it together before, so it's not like it's the first time I've done this, but all right, now we have to get this one up right. I'm not putting the actual shelves in yet, because I have to move everything off the old shelf, then put this there, and then start the building of the collection. All right, up you go. There she is. All right, so as I've been saying, if you haven't seen my previous videos, which, by the way, if it's your first time watching, thank you very much for clicking on this video. I greatly appreciate it. Usually I do toy hunts, reviews, some live streaming. However, again, if you've seen this before, I apologize. But if you're new, my girlfriend and I recently moved into our new home. So the entire collection had to be moved, thousands of figures. I did document that in other videos I can link below. But we're finally at the point, I'm very excited, where I'm going to take all these figures off of this one, set them to the side for now. That's kind of the most loaded shelf. And then the new shelf's going to go right around where this one is. I was trying to leave space in between to put a sentinel, but I measured it. The door stops right behind this Alf sleeping bag. So I actually can't go that far unless I want the door to hit the shelf. I kind of made a slight mistake in that I should have put this shelf more to the left. I was thinking more short term rather than long term there. And I'm not about to try to take everything off of this shelf. Obviously, I can't move it because it's already on there. So I'm just going to have to make do. That's not going to stay there. Eventually, once I unpack all this stuff, that's probably going to go over here. I don't know. There's lots of little shelves around me. But I'm going to get a lot onto that second Walmart shelf there. So, all right, let's get these moved, get that in here, and then we'll start kind of moving some stuff over. And I'll kind of maybe show you some of the designs I have in mind for how I'm going to put the figures on the shelves. Okay, so update. I don't know, 15 minutes. Got that whole shelf cleared off. Side by side, relatively full shelf, empty shelf. We're gonna move this in the garage, bring the other one in here. Also, I'm gonna have to clear this stuff out at some point too. And as quick went right ahead and cleared all that out of there just to another room for now. And I haven't shown this since like the first moving video that I did. These are all boxes of figures. They're all mostly labeled. All sorts of stuff, retro stuff, mostly unboxed stuff. So at some point in time, this will get moved, sold, displayed, something or other. Okay, and just for a quick pan of the room, again, this is the hoard right now. That's going to slowly work itself out. Those will go on shelves, obviously. Things will unbox. Not all the shelving will stay in here. I want to put my Dio from Carver Customs over here. So probably one of these shelves, like the smaller 3 shelves, will stay on this side of the room. I'm considering just leaving my wrestling here. I don't know. We'll see. It looks a bit of a mess like that, but so yeah, the dial will probably go in this corner. So a lot of these shelves will get moved out here, used somewhere else in the house. So I know this looks horrible, but it's right now it's organized chaos because a lot of it's going to go on that shelf right there, and then we'll start kind of playing around, moving things around from there because I can get a lot of action figures on that shelf. And then just to double check, I decided to put it again pretty much right against, a little bit of space in between, but yeah, because the door can open, and then again, not much I can really do in this area. I really wish again I would have a little more that way, but I'm not going to move that now. So be able to put some artwork back behind on the wall here, because it's not going to be able to hit the artwork on the wall because there's the door stopper anyway. So yeah, we have some ideas. So the brainstorm is already starting, and I think we're going to move these down to here. So the majority of my X villains are going straight across. Now, my concern doing that was that, well, I need more space later, but here's the thing. I guess the alternative is I can put the rest of the X villains over time up top there, but am I really going to get that many more X villains? I don't know. I mean, I could always move things around later. So I think we're going to do that. Move those down to here. That way the top can be reserved for more either figures or, you know, other things that display, so on and so forth. So let's move those over to there. There's not a whole lot to move, so it's not too bad. All right, so I don't hate that. That's okay. And eventually there's going to be some light strips going across the top to brighten up the back a little. I can still see the Apocalypse A. I can probably Sentinels front and center. The bigger figures still kind of flush out. Yeah, I know that Longshot's not really a villain, but I wanted to be with Mojo and Spiral, Black Tom. So yeah, and I have plenty of space for more villains here. Plenty of space for activities, right? What movie was that? Let me know in the comments. But yeah, Onslaught, he still looks pretty menacing. Sinister, I love this Sinister figure. Just the color, that blue just pops. So that's that grin. I love it. So yeah, so I'm good with this. I like my villains being the way they are right now. Got my X-Men, my Avengers. So yeah, I think this is gonna be like the Galactic and other we'll say other X-Men kind of heroes or Galactic type of X-Men stuff. So Xavier and Lilandra obviously are gonna go together. I didn't like the idea of wasting all that real estate on this riser for just two figures, but here's the thing, look at the capes. Those are those hard plastic capes. They're going to take up that much space anywhere they go, for the most part. I mean, that literally almost goes to the edge, and that is basically to the edge as well. So I'm going to leave them on top right there. I think that looks pretty cool. I'll put some Cosmic figures down the front. This will be a mix, not just Cosmic. I mean, I don't have that many Cosmic figures that are X-Men related to put in here. Maybe I'll mix in some other Cosmic Avengers or something too. And I don't have too many Imperial Guard / Starjammers in my collection yet, so I'm thinking we'll do Imperial Guard, obviously right here, but then Vulcan, son of Corsair, and then we'll put as a bigger Build-A-Figure right back here. Let's put our, oh, I'm blanking on his name, Chode. It's Chode, or some people say Choad. I think it was Chode in the cartoon, so I say Chode. So, and as I get more Starjammers, I can kind of maybe sprinkle them in. Same thing with the Imperial Guard here. I don't know. And again, my head's all over the place with this. So, okay, let's see how we can make this work. So, Phoenix, obviously you could say Galactic threat, right? If it's Dark Phoenix, whatever, anyways, you get the idea. So Cyclops wore this in the battle in X-Men 97 in space, okay? That's the Cable, essentially, from X-Men 97. He's his brother, that's his father. You can kind of see how there's, like, connections. Even though the shelf may not be completely cosmic, I can kind of make a little connections. And then eventually it's going to break down and this will all be random stuff because I'm just going to want to fill up the shelf. Okay, I think we're going to combine and just mutilate this idea. So we're going to combine some non-X-Men characters that are cosmic, but the problem is that those don't fit in whatsoever to that theme. So they'll probably just be hidden in the back by somebody. And I think we're going to go just completely mix things together and put the Fantastic Four over here. Cosmic Team, FF. Let's just get crazy and do it. Again, this is just comic inspired. No MCU on this shelf right here. Yeah, I'm okay with this for now. Again, nothing's ever permanent. I want things to look nice, but I also realize I can still move things around. I kind of like the idea of different things being behind me as well. Like, I love theming, of course. Theming's great, but again, ideally, I'm going to be podcasting right in front of these. So I want some cool things on display that aren't just necessarily locking me into a certain concept. And having the FF on display is something I would really like to do. So having the FF there, yeah, we'll go a little more mishmash here. It doesn't always have to be completely themed, right? Right? And by doing that, I can now include this bad man Majama, who I had no clue where to go with as a Build-A-Figure. The Kree Sentry, is that what he's called? Build-A-Figure from, I think it was Captain Marvel Movie Wave, that kind of mashed together comics and movies there. So yeah, I can kind of fit him in there now. It's coming together. Okay, so added some more Cosmic in. I don't have many Inhumans. I don't really want to build them all. I think I might have Karnak somewhere. Maybe I'll throw him in here just for the hell of it. But we got the good boy Lockjaw, and then we have the old school Black Bolt, which I'm sure we'll get a brand new one probably, I would say, the next year or two, I would think. And an updated Vulcan buck on that buck right there. Yeah, he's all right. I used to have an Illuminati display with him and Xavier and the whole crew, and I'm not going to do that anymore. So I'm just going to kind of work those characters back in to their actual, teams or whatever. But yeah, I think, again, going mostly Cosmic here. Got the Silver Surfer in there, added the Super Skrull, another Skrull builder. Looking pretty good. Obviously, they are Bizarro. They don't belong back there, but let's pretend that Maggot went to space and Colossus did go to space. I'll pretend that's the evil Colossus, the Acolyte Colossus. It's not, but I'll tell myself that. So I think I'm going to actually add Beyonder and, oh, dang, what's his name? Owen Reese, Molecule Man as well. I just fished him out from way back there. Luckily, Molecule Man's like right there. Yeah, I think I'll go with High Evolutionary since he was in the FF wave, which means I have to find Psycho Man. But also, I noticed, I do have Karnak right there too. So I'll put Karnak there with the my very limited team of Inhumans. So I grabbed them out, and then I started having some G.I. Joes fall over, and I realized that most of my Joe collection's on a different shelf. So just as an organization thing for now, for when I move things around later, anything Joe related here that you can see is going to get plucked off this bottom shelf and moved over to the G.I. Joe temporary shelf that I put together when I first got here to the house. So I turned into a little side quest. So I managed to move all the Joes in the front here over from different displays. And then also I got my Bobby Valaverse Action Force Hulk version, Sarge Slaughter version 1. Moved the animals over and found those guys on another shelf. So when I move all my G.I. Joe to the permanent house, permanent home, permanent shelf, they all should be pretty much right here. You see it goes pretty deep back there. So I like utilizing a seated position for figures to kind of use every edge of display space. They're like invisible to me. I always bump them with my forearm. So I just bumped Loki, who bumped, I think, underneath a guy who didn't, like a whole domino effect here, which is very frustrating. I got to fix all that crap. Oh, the whole reason I'm filming is because I realized that I have those two Super Skrulls back there I have to put on the Skrull display. I didn't intend to keep going on this video, but I kind of just got inspired. And again, it's a mishmash. In my head, it makes sense. Other than those two goofballs in the back, they're just going to have to stay hidden for now. I moved, obviously, all the Skrulls into this corner. Let's hope no Starjammers anytime soon, because I'm going to have an issue with my Starjammers here, or Imperial Guard. We'll figure it out another time. I ended up moving Silver Surfer to the front. That way I could actually have him on his board, which is probably smart, right? And I could probably still fit something there. And then I still have my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Skrulls lined up, different iterations. And I moved the Inhuman area over to the right, so they're kind of tucked in. Another thing I don't like is the fact that Franklin is kind of hidden in the back. But I have an opportunity to open some stuff I never opened before. I never opened these for whatever reason. Got on good clearances. I think I meant to put them on a wall, never did. So I'm going to unbox Fire Lord, and I'll unbox Psycho Man, put them on the shelf. So it's FF characters and also Herald of Galactus. And yes, I know Galactus is unopened if you know my channel. Still haven't opened the big guy, hopefully for the end of the summer. Trying to figure out where he's going to go back here. Always an excuse, right? Always an excuse. But yeah, we'll put the Heralds kind of together here. I'll slide him over a little bit to the middle maybe. Throw Cycle Man somewhere here. He kind of won't fit too great, but I'm going to get him unboxed while I'm thinking of it. Yeah, again, just getting stuff out, getting organized, getting things displayed. So this is what I'm settling on for now. I think we're going to call it a video there. So expect another update next Sunday, potentially. I'm going to try to stick to that schedule. My Heralds, move my Skrulls around a little bit more. He kind of keeps tipping back. It's ticking me off. Got to be careful. Psycho Man, don't like him being in the front center. Doesn't really need to be, but I guess he kind of matches right there. But whatever. I'm kind of digging how it came out so far. So thanks for watching. If you're new, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It is free for you. It does not cost you anything and helps us grow the channel tremendously on the march to 8,000 subscribers. While you're at it, go ahead and click that bell for notifications, because that way YouTube should notify and tell you when we post new content here at the channel, like our weekly toy hunts, reviews, and live streams. Leave a comment down below. Hit that like button. If you're daily toy content and daily toy updates, try checking us out over Instagram at Disavowed_12. Hey everybody, if you're going toy hunting this week, please try to remember the 3 Ps of the toy hunt: patience, persistence, most of all, politeness. Take care, stay healthy, and I'll be seeing all of you at the pegs.